back. I'm Kris. This is Carl. We're Left on Red Games. So we have a lot going on. We are doing videos this week. We did a lot of programming last week. I did a lot of programming last week.
I watched over his shoulder and I'm like, ooh,
yeah.
It's like
Carl, you've had probably one of the hardest weeks in recent memory. Do you want to talk about that at all? Or
it was very busy and traumatic.
Yeah, so it's been a really tough week for Carl. Not only did he have a really garbage job where people are like screaming at him for no reason, he also had a really tragic loss. Yeah,
emotional
damage. That's where Carl's at.
Lightly frazzled.
Yeah, lightly frazzled.
I'm lightly frazzled. That's where I'm at.
So let's talk about some good news.
All the cool stuff you did last week. All the big progress. And everything.
So we did... I wrote it down so I don't forget. And we checked... So last week we talked about that we did some lives, start screen, pause, the score. Although we didn't implement... Actually, we could display the score, but we didn't figure out how to save it between levels. And some sound effects, and an end-of-level screen. So since then, we did fix the score and the lives. They display in between each level. We made it so your score saves between levels, so you can have a total score and build that up. We made it so you could navigate all the menus with a controller or the keyboard. You don't have to click on it with the mouse. I'll talk about that in a second. We made pickups, and we made an upgrade system using something that I've seen called the strategy pattern. If you don't know, a pattern in programming is just like a common way to do something to achieve a goal that many people need to achieve. What does it say? You don't know. This is my handwriting.
Camera stop.
We made a camera stop. So because we're doing a shooter, right? The level will mostly move forward at a steady pace. Sometimes we want that level to stop or change directions or something. So I set up something that moves in front of the camera, just basically a strip of area that can check for things colliding with it. And as that moves in front of the camera, it'll find things so you can have a camera stop. So basically that moves forward, it hits the camera stop, and the camera stop says, hey, stop, and then it'll stop. You can have that set on a timer. You can have something else to start the camera again. Yeah, so that'll be useful in future. We're not using it for anything specific right now. I came up with some end-of-level triggers that we can put on either an enemy, or you can have it so when the camera gets to a certain spot, the level ends. And I think that's everything. But it's really interesting. The game is looking much, much more like a game. We did some graphic design that I think looks really good. We'll put those menus and stuff in here. We've chosen a font. One thing I don't think we mentioned is our sound effects. When we first started, there was a sound effects bundle for sale, so you could license it and use it in your game. And we were like, we're going to buy this. $40 because it was this huge sale. It's usually hundreds of dollars of licensed music. And we were like, we'd love to, at some point, have actual musicians make the music for our game. For now, we have this licensed music that we can use either as a placeholder. We'll see how it moves forward. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, adding the sound was great. I like the Jaws feature, which you talked about.
Yeah, we talked about last week.
That's where the camera comes. That's where the enemy comes off. That was really yummy. The upgrades, the score carrier, everything.
Yeah, so you can get like
really exciting. Yeah,
extra life. You can build up your speed. We haven't done any other upgrades yet because we haven't fixed the weapons or anything, but that'll all be doable. It's relatively simply. That's why we did a strategy pattern. Instead of just programming one or two upgrades, I took the time, and this is probably the biggest thing I've coded for the whole game, was a single thing was the strategy pattern. It took me a long time to get everything right and working and move everything around a little bit to make the strategy pattern work with what I had already done. Mm-hmm. And that's a common thing. Like sometimes you're like, oh, this is definitely the right way to do a thing. I have to change some of the code I've already done. And that's fine. That's just a normal, when you're building something piecemeal like this, instead of planning it all out and then doing it, sometimes you run into that where you just have to go back and change a thing. The other thing we need to do is we need to choose a graphical layout and make some decisions about resolution and about the size of the ship and stuff like that in pixels. And I kind of want to do that
right now.
Yeah, before we start doing programming videos, because I think if you've been following us, you might have seen some shorts with the like placeholder graphics, the proto graphics, and I think they look fine. But I think if we're going to start like showing the game and showing it in a more consistent, like here's how we programmed this and here's how we program that, I think I want it to look a little bit more professional, or the way it's going to look. Because the graphics I've done now, I did in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
or
those
10
are,
minutes.
but that's a skeleton. It's like a working skeleton while you did the engine, you know? Like now you've got like so much done already on it, but I feel like that's still kind of part of this group of objectives.
Yeah. So I think we're going to try to record some process videos today. Maybe we'll record some videos about the graphics, and maybe we will record some programming videos today with either the prototype graphics or the new graphics if we get there. These will still be prototype graphics, a step closer to the final product. So yeah, keep
Which
following us along.
Which is going to be really exciting just to see that, because even the bones have been exciting.
Yeah.
So seeing just the next tier, the next layer that is on the way is very, you know, I feel like a kid waiting for a new game to come out.
Yeah, we've gotten our base down, and we can now start working on other types of videos. Mostly we've been doing updates up until this point. I think it's time now we can start doing maybe some graphics editing videos, some how to use Godot videos, how we are using Godot videos. There are a couple videos I would like to talk about, I guess as a teaser, like the way controls are often shown on how to program input in Godot for tutorials is a little off. I'd like to talk about that, how I think it could be done better in tutorials. And so yeah, I think that's everything. I'm just blathering. I used to be like, that's crazy.